Warning. The following program contains a Canadian redneck who doesn't quite know what he's doing, coarse language, and mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, on the operating table, we have the Vulcan. Oh, hey, when'd you get here? Sorry about that. Yeah, it's gonna be a short one today, I guess. I don't have too much to say, but we got projects on the go, man. Like I got this old behemoth that's gotta come apart somehow, some way, someday. But yeah, definitely one of the upcoming things will be MOSFETs and how to wire those. And, you know, it's no big deal or anything, but I am just a journeyman electrician, so I hope that's out. The journeyman electrician apparently can't undo a screw. This is great. Any words? Yeah, so, oh, I guess I gotta pull that out. Oh, I guess you gotta undo the screws. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. Oh yeah, I use 18650s. These are, 3S in parallel. To see it a little bit better, let me take this super precise engineered spacer. See, you got your blacks together, you got your reds together. Positive, negative. So these packs are 3S in series. They go ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And so then they're in parallel, so we're getting anywhere between, you know, between 9 and 13, 14 volts from, you know, empty to full charge. Double the capacity. However, I do got some plans. I mean, I do have that, which is, you know, pretty cool. Was thinking about some kind of backpack mounted, so that way you could do without the batteries. I could maybe put in an air tank in here, a little one, albeit something. Not sure yet, but things are in the works. Also, there's this little thing. This is pretty spiffy. For those that don't know, this is an air compressor for like cars that have airbags. Not the kind that go poof in your face, but the kind that, you know, oh my friends, no, you know, those kind of airbags. So yeah, I think it might be good enough for canon. Other thing coming up, I got a lot of crap. This is basically my Stampede. I've upgraded the metal to the metal, 2 metal gears out of it, 2 of them, 2 this many too. But you know, with the forge, what I would like to do is I'd like to probably in the springtime, summertime, I'd like to get into casting, because I've already sheared the teeth off this rack here on another one. So it's a good thing I had 4 stampedes, because one is now for parts. So yeah, like I said, I would like to cast that. I'd like to make cast all of the gears out of aluminum, just because I feel that aluminum is a little bit better than. I'm guessing this is like some kind of just basic nylon, or maybe a little bit. I don't know. I don't have any samples to compare it with, but yeah, Shibrock. Yeah. So in this guy, we got a little bit of a. What is that? Do they call that a rainbow breach? I can't remember. But yeah, you gotta be careful with Nerf guns and jam doors. You know, I used to be all for the jam door delete, but I'm almost reconsidering putting back the locks in, because I was when I was installing this last year. How do I say this? I did the mistake that you shouldn't ever do in the Nerf hobby. Hello, cat. Yeah, the batteries are in. My finger was on the trigger, and I fortunately the K26 spring in here was too much, and it couldn't completely depress, so it didn't cut my finger off. It can you see that? I don't know. If you're squeamish, I'll show you the aftermath. So, like, if you're squeamish, skip ahead like 30 seconds from this point here.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, and that was pretty fun, because that was literally the day before 2018's what was that? That was the zombie apocalypse with Frontier LARP out in St. Laurent, Manitoba. Yeah, so there's lots of plans for this one coming up. We got some Arduinos over there on the shelf. Well, you can't see it, but I can see it. We got some Arduinos over there. Got some things. Gonna do something back here. Gonna do something over here. Do some kind of button things over there and different things. Basically gonna. Oh, this is. I know this. We're still in the prototype stage. I didn't use this gun in the war yet. God darn it! You kids and your fast comments saying that I'm doing this wrong, and you should have heat shrunk those wires. I know I should have heat shrunk. I want to get a bigger motor first. Any words? Yeah, plans for this. This is basically I'm kind of basing this off Captain Xavier's ire. I don't know what I'm gonna name mine yet, because like I said, I haven't even ran it in a game yet. It's barely gotten past the prototyping stage. We just use the typical Hyperfire Rapid Strike with the same kind of paint scheme, red and black, you know, that fun stuff. Yeah, still working on the long shot. Yeah, I don't know where I feel with that one right now. Still working on it. It's a work in progress, but getting my mind onto different things. But yeah, so this is going to be essentially run on about 12 volts. So I'm going to be doing MOSFETs. I'm a huge fan of MOSFETs because it actually makes your wiring easier, because you don't have to screw around with putting in bigger switches, even though apparently a lot of the nerfing community is all for just grinding and epoxying in switches. You know, I don't know. I don't got time, because if I get it wrong and I gotta grind that out, no, I don't got time for that. When you use MOSFETs, you can keep your factory wiring from your switches. The only wiring you need to change is from the high power side of your MOSFET to the motors, and that is when you change. I'm probably, being an electrician, I'm going to run number 14 solid. Welcome, I'm going to throw you under the bus a little bit. On one of your live streams, you said that solid wire doesn't carry current as well as stranded wire. I'm sorry, but as an electrician, that is incorrect. For the cross-sectional area of a wire, solid wire has more current carrying capacity than stranded wire. Fact. And I got a book to prove it. Where is my book? Where is my book? It says it in here. This is 2015. Don't pay no attention to that. People are still writing their red seals on this. You know what? We could probably even find it. Let's, where's the ampacities? Hang on, let me find it here. There's ampacities. I know it. Table D1. Nope. Appendix B. Nope. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna. I haven't looked at this in a while, so take my word for it. The other nice thing about solid wire is that you can bend it and form it, and you don't got these loose things just flopping in the breeze like... Oh, I'm not even going to use that analogy that I was thinking of. No, not going to do it. Any words. I'm a controls guy, but I've done... I'm an electrician. I do it all. I can do big power. I can do little power, but my specialty is controls and control wiring and making my wiring in a cabinet look immaculate. So I got big plans to make this wiring freaking gorgeous. Pro tip for wire, number 14 solid. If I can, I'm gonna find a piece. Kitty cat. There's a piece of number 14. Here's a piece of number 14. This is really old wire, so the insulation's probably pooched, but NMD 90. That means it is rated for 90 degrees Celsius. Number 14 wire is rated at 20 amps. 20 amps of 120 volts, or even 240 volts. Because it has a maximum voltage rating of 300 volts. 20 amps, that's a lot. If you got one of these rinky-dinky little motors running 20 amps, by golly, she's running frickin' hotter than a... I can't. I gotta keep this a family show, apparently. Probably not, but anyways, look at this wire. Look, you bend it. I can bend it. And look at that. It keeps its shape. So, let's say we're coming from the back here, and we wanted to make a nice offset. We'll bring it down here. Straighten it out as much as you want. And the beauty about, look, we can even make it like ride this little thing like this, and it will keep its shape because it's bloody brilliant. Look at that. It's just rotating all over the place because, I took 3 seconds to do this rather than, taking some proper time to do it, because this is just an example. But seriously, solid wire. Look at it. Look at this. If you get your wires, well, I wouldn't actually do it like this. I would never run a wire like that. That's ugly. Right angles. Right angles are your friend. Even in a gun that doesn't look like it can provide right angles, you will find them. You can find them. Like, if our power's coming in from back here, honestly, I'm probably going to chop my battery tray when I'm done. I'm probably going to end up chopping this battery tray. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided how I want to power things yet, Like if, like if we put in some things down here or in there or whatever, you find the shorter the wires have to go to your load, your high current draw, the better, because the longer, I mean, on this kind of scale, it's kind of a moot point, but voltage drop, the longer the wire is, the wire has a resistance, albeit very negligible. If I were to measure this with one of my ohm meters, it would say that it's a closed loop. It's like dead short, which it is, but you'd have to measure in the micro ohms. So the longer a wire is, the more resistance it gets, etc., etc. Efficiency, Kirchhoff's law, and skin effect, hysteresis, bleh. Any words. Like I said, lots of things coming up. Fancy things. Something about some kind of arm cannon. I know I'm a little late to the party, but I'm going to try to one-up Captain Xavier this year. Okay, I'm going to try to one-up... In 2019, I'll try to one-up Captain Xavier's 2018. How's that? Friggin' rights. But yeah, boys and girls, welcome back to the disaster. Sorry it's short, but till next time, eat shit and brap on. Before I forget, another thing that I don't have one with me right now, apparently, but I remembered it, and it's, honestly, it's somewhere here in the Empire of Dirt. Regarding high current, high stall currents and stuff like that, when you have stall currents, that's when your motor is literally stalled. You have, it is called locked rotor ampacity or current, FLC, FLA. That's like bad. You do not want that thing to run if you're running full, like, locked rotor stuff. Like, don't do it. Your stuff will set on fire if you don't have proper fusing in place. And that's something I see a lot of in some of these blasters. Like, if you get a jam and if you got a high crush setup and all of a sudden, you know what, for whatever reason, the dart, like, frickin', it's the dart's fault. It's not the blaster's fault. It's the dart's fault. The dart goes through the flywheel and gets all frickin' dickered, antlered, cattywampus, big times, fucking takes a left turn. Oh shit, sorry. Takes a left turn right out the exit there. And, next one comes along, doesn't do frig all. You just got things butting up against each other. You're gonna get a locked rotor. And if you don't have proper fusing or disconnecting means, like, if you keep pressing that trigger, shit's gonna blow. Like, so one thing that I got on this, which is gonna be a really cool little thing, I'll show you a little trick. Maybe later on when I get to, a little further into this, is why can't I word today? Words are hard. Is a little automotive circuit breaker. So, if you can find the specs on your motor, sometimes you can find a part number, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just go with the numbers that you give. If you have an upgraded whatever, and, like, let's say you're running the Neo Rhinos or whatever. I don't know what they are. I don't know what their specs are because I haven't purchased none of that yet. Most of my stuff's just resistors cut out and, like, crank the voltage up, bud. Overvolting. Oh man, that's so funny. Overvolting. I didn't know volt was a verb. Anyways, sorry guys. Sorry, I'm just being an electrician. But yeah, automotive circuit breakers. You can get them. You can get them on Fleabay. You can get them on AliExpress. You can get them on probably Amazon. You can, realistically, if you're of age and you have kind of tools, like usually 16 and a driver's license, go to a scrapyard and, like, go there and, like, literally buy one thing, but fill your pockets with fuses and circuit breakers, because, like, that they don't care. They're looking for big ticket items, like people pulling engines and transmissions and tires and rims. They're not going to give two craps about some punk that wants some circuit breakers for his Nerf gun. But yeah, the thing about those circuit breakers is that they're automatic resetting. So the one that I got, I'm going to set this thing at, I don't know, probably 15 amps. And that's at 12 volt DC. So if this thing runs 15 amps, I haven't tested it. I might have to go up to 20 amps after, you know, all's said and done. But if this gun starts running hot, and the thing about circuit breakers and stuff like that is, if it runs 15 amps, it might not actually trip. It could potentially run a lot longer without actually tripping. Once you surpass that, the time frame of how long it's going to take to trip gets smaller and smaller. Wait, I should be going this way. The time frame it takes to trip, the higher you go above that rated capacity, gets shorter and shorter. So if I'm running this thing and I'm going full auto, I'm just going mag after mag after mag, and she's getting hot and she's getting steam and the wires are glowing, shit's smoking. Well, we don't want that. I'd rather a little breaker trip. And then after it has a couple seconds to cool down, I can switch to one of them secondaries over there on the wall that you can't see, and use that for a couple seconds, like a couple minutes. Like if I'm really in a pickle, well, at least the gun didn't break, because at the end of the day, I care about that. So that's another thing. It's another thing. They're called ATC. ATC. Alpha Tango Charlie circuit breakers. Check it out. Might save your blaster from going thermonuclear, and especially if you're using a crazy setup like me. Oh, wobbly. Sammy standing by.